Welcome to the Bike Life podcast by Warmshowers Foundation, where we will be sharing knowledge, experience, tools, and stories of touring cyclists and hosts from around the world. I'm Tavra Lee, the woman behind the scenes at Warmshowers Foundation, the leading platform for cyclists looking for hosts and to connect with a passionate international community. Find out more by visiting us at Warmshowers.org. Now, on to the show.
Hello and welcome to Bike Life. This is Jerry Kopack, and if you recognize my voice, I'm the new host, taking over the reins from Tavra. But don't worry, Tavra's still here as our executive director, but she's focusing her time on making your experiences as travelers and hosts even better. So a little bit about me. I've been the finance guy for Warm Showers for almost 5 years. And when I'm not building spreadsheets, you'll find me hosting bike travelers in my home in Breckenridge, Colorado, or on my own journey somewhere else in the world. Today, I've traveled through 21 countries and counting, and I'm so looking forward to hearing your inspiring tales. Now, today, I'm talking to Karolin Windhuber, who rode from her home in Germany all the way to Turkey to raise money and awareness for World Bike Relief. Hey, Karolin, and welcome to the show.
Hi, Jerry. I'm very happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
First off, I apologize. I realized that my American accent probably didn't do the pronunciation of your name any justice. So
It's
for all
right.
of us, how do you pronounce your name in a proper German accent?
It's Karolin Windhuber, but you did it well. It's all right. No one has to pronounce it in the German way. It's really German in this name.
It wasn't even close. So Karolin, okay. So tell us a little bit about World Bike Relief and your connection to them.
Yeah, so it's World Bicycle Relief is an NGO. It's actually American-based, and they give bicycles to people in need. So that's mostly people who have no access to public transportation yet, who have no access to cars or any other means of transport. So they have to do all their daily life things by foot. So, and we all know what that means. We've seen pictures of people, I guess. It's hard to reach school. It's hard to reach hospitals. It's even hard to reach the neighboring villages in case you need something. And yeah, I think we all can imagine how life is, how hard it is, if even the next possibility to get to a grocery store is like a big journey. And yeah, I wanted to help these people, being it in countries where infrastructure is bad, or being it people after a disaster where everything is destroyed. World Bicycle Relief is helping these, and I think that's an amazing case.
Yeah, I agree. Some really, really important, powerful work. Through some of my travels, I definitely have seen firsthand children walking miles and miles and hours to get to school, or parents trying to get to the work, or to, as you mentioned, to get to the market. And having access to transportation via bicycle can literally cut hours out of their commute. So that is really amazing work. How did you find World Bicycle Relief, and what's your connection to them? Do you have a personal story?
No, it was all like, let's say, randomly, and I found them by chance. I decided to go on a bicycle trip. I've done some others before, shorter ones though. And I thought that I don't want to like just benefit myself. I also want others to benefit from this. And yeah, so I did some research. I actually did really just like Google support projects with bicycles, whatever. And I found some awesome initiatives. And yeah, World Bicycle Relief was doing exactly what I wanted to support. So the story is that I worked in a German automotive industry. And I was always thinking, hey, we're developing like really highly sophisticated technology, while others still, yeah, as I said, don't even have access to basic mobility. And yeah, I think bicycle is such a great way of traveling. It's low tech, it's easy access. Most people are able to ride a bike when they learn it. So this is what I googled and what I found, and I found out that it's actually a huge thing. So they are big, they have many supporters, they are active in many countries in this world, especially in developing countries. And they also have offices here in Germany and in Switzerland, close by where I'm located, mainly to do the fundraiser support. So it was really easy to set up this fundraising page, and also to get support by people that are located here close by where I live.
Wow. I love that. So you went from working in the automotive industry to, it seems like a complete pivot to trying to help benefit the bicycle industry, or people get bicycles in these very, very rural developing regions of the world. So that is incredible. I'm so curious if you feel like sharing or feel comfortable sharing, how much money did you raise through your project?
Yeah, of course. So during the trip, I raised around, let's say, €3,500, which
Wow.
I'm quite proud of. I mean, it's not an amount that changed the world, but at least, I mean, otherwise I would have done the trip anyways without raising any money. And with this
Yeah.
fundraising initiative, I raised 3,500. And in the beginning of this year, I also held a, let's say, like picture presentation about my trip, here in my local home village, and people donated again. So then I could put even more on top, and in the end, it's nearly €4,000 that came together. Yeah. So,
Wow.
and this means more than 20, nearly 25 bicycles that could be put in place. Yeah.
That was gonna be my next question, is how many
Okay.
bicycles does that translate to?
Yeah.
So
So
25 bicycles?
so they say that for one bicycle they need around $150. I mean, it's not only the production of the bicycle; it's everything around. It's the organization.
Yeah.
Um,
There's
it's also the mechanics that need to take care of the bicycles. It's the logistics behind. It's the whole chain, and it's roughly about $150 raised can place one bicycle. Um, so with the amount, with $3,000, you can already put 20 bicycles in the field.
Now, do you know, are these new bicycles? Are they donated bicycles that people have put back
Yeah.
together and refurbished?
No, it's not like this. So you also can't donate a bicycle if
Oh,
if some people are interested in this. It's bicycles that are especially developed for that case. So World Bicycle Reliefs works together with other NGOs, with other companies and partners that are producing the bicycles, and it's always the same bicycle that they put in place, and it's a really robust bike. It's like really simple. So probably nothing compared to the bicycles you can get in Germany in the shops right now. It's
yeah.
really simple, but it has everything they need. Um, it can carry loads. It is easy to be fixed. And that's also a special thing about World Bicycle Relief, because they also train the mechanics, um, like in the rural areas. So if there is some problem with the bikes, people are able to repair them themselves, or at least they know where they can bring them to be repaired. So it's not that if the bicycle is, let's say, damaged, then they throw it away, but they have mechanics that can repair it. And also the whole production chain, it's also all done by volunteers, or at least by people who work in this social oriented field.
I love this. I am so fascinated by this because we've all heard stories about NGOs going in and putting food or other items in place, but maybe they're not educating people on how to grow crops. And so my question was going to be, I think you answered, is are they just dropping off bicycles, or are they teaching people there how to maintain them so that, as you said, they don't just get thrown away if they break? So
Yeah, exactly. So it's called the buffalo bike. If you want to do some research, the buffalo bike is It's a company, and they have people in all these countries, mostly in rural areas, developing countries. And there is the people in place with the local language, local skills, and it's not just like Americans or Europeans who drop some bikes and then get off.
I think that's so important in the longevity of this program, to teach people not just to give them bikes, but also teach them how to maintain them, so they don't just get thrown away if something happens. So that is an amazing project. I love that you took this upon yourself to get involved. Uh, as far
Thanks,
as
yeah.
where do these bikes go? Do you get to say, hey, I'm raising $3,000 for a bike, and I've been through, say, sub-Saharan Africa, and I really want my bike to go there? Or does it just kind of go into a fund and they get distributed based on needs?
Yes, it's more the second thing that
Okay.
you said. So I can't say, hey, I know someone in Sri Lanka and I want to put a bike there. This is not how it works. So
Okay.
I just raise the money and they decide what happens. But I get some newsletters and I always get informed about, hey, we put more bicycles here, we put some bikes there. So they inform about their activities and what they're doing, so I can see they are giving bicycles to people indeed. But yeah, still, I think they do it depending on the needs and where they have their projects going at the moment. Yeah.
So do you have any plans now that you know that we've seen some of these bikes where they've gone? Do you have any plans to go do a bike tour through some of these regions to see some of these bikes in action?
Actually, I would love to. So I was in
Yeah.
contact with a woman that works in Germany for World Bicycle Relief, and she said I'm very welcome to visit also these mechanic shops if I want. I just need to drop a message when I'm around somewhere. So I think as a donator, you're always welcome to visit the sites and to see where the bikes are. But yeah, I have to admit, I have no other travel plans yet. So maybe in the future.
Hey, that would be such a fun trip, just to go and
That would be
see some of
awesome.
those bikes out there in the world. Do you have an idea
Yeah.
of where some of the bikes are mostly focused into going?
It's many African regions,
Mhm.
but also Colombia, for example, and
Okay.
Latin America. And as I said, also when there is some, let's say, nature disaster or some earthquakes, also when there is a tsunami or something, then they also help out. So this might also be regions in southern or Southeast Asia, for example. Yeah, like this, where people lost everything and then they can't get from where they are to where they want to go.
That's so cool, because I've actually heard of the Buffalo style bike, and I'm trying to remember if I saw any, because I was in Nepal right after the earthquake, and I believe in 2014, and it definitely did some significant damage to not just Kathmandu, but also some of the surrounding villages.
Yeah.
And I definitely saw people on bikes. I saw the impacts of the bikes that they have and the
Yeah.
allowing of their mobility to get to these different places. So it's incredible, just the power of a simple bicycle. And I know that these are very simple bicycles, not like the bicycles that we would see in the shops in, say, Germany or the US.
Yeah, so I'm not an expert about what World Bicycle Relief did in the past, but I'm pretty sure that this is one of these projects they really want to support. And yeah, so Nepal would be a great example, and it's likely that you've seen one of these bikes. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. This helps just bring it full circle, what I've seen and now talking to you about these stories. And
Mm.
so I'm sure you get this question a lot. So I'm going to ask, how many miles was it from Germany to Turkey? And how long did it take you?
Yeah, so my whole trip was about 3,000 kilometers. You
Okay.
need to help me to calculate how many miles that are. I don't know. I can.
Call it 2,000 miles.
Yeah, might be. Exactly. And it took me 3 months, but I have to admit I did a lot of stops on the way. So because I went to some countries in Eastern Europe where I've not been yet, so I took the chance to travel slowly with the bicycle and visit Hungary,
Hmm.
Serbia, Bulgaria, and also the capitals of these beautiful countries, to spend some time there and do some rest days from cycling, and enjoy these countries that were new for me. So I think if you want to do it faster, it's easy to to do the whole trip in maybe half of the time. But that was not my goal. My goal was to enjoy it and to see a lot on the way, to travel slowly, to talk to many people, to take it slow, as I said. That's the big advantage of traveling by bicycle. You can just stop wherever you want to, and I really enjoyed it. Yeah,
Exactly. We've all heard about these different bicycle packing races. Like there's one, the Silk Road Mountain Race in Kyrgyzstan. There's also what's called the Great Divide Race that goes from Canada through the United States down to the border of Mexico. Something like 2,700 miles, and the winners who are racing do it in 16, 18, 20 days. And back to your point, you can go faster from Germany to Turkey, but why not travel slow? And so I'm curious, how were you promoting your cause along the way? Did you have like a banner with a QR code on your pannier or something? Or were you stopping at different places and giving talks?
No, it wasn't that professional, I have to admit. So I had a WhatsApp group for family and friends, and I knew that there are some people who are really like in favor of supporting bicycle projects. So I knew that some of my friends and family members will support it. Actually, I also did a post on LinkedIn, which was just an idea I had somewhere on the way, and it was crazy how many people reacted on that, and even people I didn't know before donated and said that they've seen my LinkedIn post. So that was interesting. And of course, when I met people on the way, I also talked to them. And yeah, I mean, you know it. If you travel by bike, you meet a lot of people traveling by bike. So most of them also like the fundraising campaign, and also gave a bit. Yeah. And then, as I said, also after my trip, I did this presentation, which also helped, and yeah, was nice to see. I think it was around 40 people, which I knew who donated, and then even more, which I didn't know before. So just people who saw it and they said, "Oh, I want to support it." That was really nice.
I love that. And I think it's easier for people to see a really good cause and get behind it. And so obviously what you did and what you, I'm assuming, are continuing to do is a really, really important cause in the world. Are you still involved with this project? Are you still trying to raise awareness and funds?
Yeah, I am. So this is also why I'm here, by the way.
Hey, all right.
I really want to spread the word, and want to motivate people to either, of course, donate for World Bicycle Relief. But if it's not this NGO, then there are many other nice projects out there that are happy to get donations. So if you're going on a bicycle trip soon or any other journey, why not combining it with a fundraising campaign and make sure that others benefit as well? Because most of the people who are traveling are already, let's say, a bit like not the poorest people, or at least people who can afford traveling. So yeah, we can also try to support those in need. Yeah.
Good. I love that. So I'm looking at a map, and and there's a lot of ways to get from Germany to Turkey. Is there any particular reason you chose the route that you did?
Yeah, actually I did, because other people are really well exercised when they start on a trip, but I wasn't. So I took a road that was without any meters of altitude in the beginning. I was really afraid of that. So I cycled along the Danube River. It's one of the longest rivers in Europe, and it takes you all the way from Germany to the east. So I could follow this river for 3 weeks or even more. I think like a month. I followed the river. So yeah, I cycled all the way along the river. It was a nice route, nice cycling path, no meters of altitude, and nice camping spots. This is why I chose that one. And then in Turkey, I felt a lot more used to cycling every day. And there I really wanted to see the countryside. I wanted to see the rural areas. I wanted to like get out of the big cities. So I cycled all the way from the center of Turkey to the southern coast. And I also chose to cycle a mountain path that was in between, because to that time, then I was on my way for more than 2 months already, and I really felt, let's say, strong enough to do this, which I wasn't capable in the beginning for sure.
Because some of those countries that you travel through, there's definitely mountainous regions, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I also have to admit, in Bulgaria, I didn't cycle the whole country. I also took a train in between, exactly because of what you said.
Because the mountains?
There's a huge mountain range, and I didn't feel ready for that yet to that time. And I wanted to enjoy more time in the big city in Bulgaria, in Sofia, the capital. So yeah, I skipped a bit of the cycling time there to have more time in Turkey as well.
Did you get through any part of Albania or Kosovo or North Macedonia?
No, I didn't went that south.
Okay.
So it was Serbia, Bulgaria, and then directly into Turkey.
Okay.
Which was quite the direct route, I think. So most people who try to have the speed records
Sure.
a cycling trip, they also take the same route as I did. It's basically all the way to the east.
Oh, so there's kind of like almost an established route that goes there?
Yes.
Interesting.
It's one of the long distance cycling paths that goes through Europe.
Okay.
We have the cycling grid, the Eurovelo grid, and this is one of the routes, the Eurovelo 6. That's the Danube River cycling path. And in most of the countries, it's really well established, nice infrastructure, many warm showers hosts on the way. So that made it really comfortable.
I was just going to ask, so were you camping, warm showers, hotels, or kind of a combination of everything?
Yeah, the combination of everything. So I had some amazing warm shower hosts. As I said, for example, in Sofia, in the capital of Bulgaria, I stayed with a guy, and I decided to stay even longer because it was so nice with him. So I had great warm showers experiences, but I also had my tent with me. I was quite autark, so even in the Turkish countryside, I was able to sleep, to cook wherever I want, and I had a lot of bad weather. We had a lot of thunderstorms on the way, so in some cases I also took a hotel when there was no warm shower host around, and camping was just not possible because of thunderstorms and crazy weather conditions.
It's not fun to pack up in the morning a wet tent and wet gear and start cycling. I've been there, and so there's no shame in not camping in a thunderstorm.
Yeah, exactly.
Was there I should have asked this earlier. Did you do this whole trip solo?
No. So my first plan was to do it solo.
Yeah.
But in the end, a good friend joined. So I started on my own. But in Budapest, in the capital of Hungary, my best friend joined. So he came with his bicycle in the train from Germany to Budapest. And then from then on, we cycled together because he also quit his job. We were both in the same situation, having nearly unlimited time. And we never talked about how far we go together and at which point in time we're going to separate or everyone does their own trip. But in the end, we ended up doing the whole trip together and then even drove back together. Yeah.
Okay, so next question then. How did you get home from Turkey?
That was also a nice adventure because we knew that we didn't want to fly. To avoid flying for environmental reasons, but also because we find that it's just more exciting, more adventurous if you go the long way.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
it.
so in Turkey we were looking for buses, which is also nice with the bicycles because you don't have to ship them in an airplane, you don't have to pack them, you don't have to like disassemble them.
Right.
So it was really easy. We found buses that go directly from Istanbul to southern Germany to Munich. And without changing the bus. So that
What?
was also a nice thing to find out. We didn't know before. You can also do it the other way around. So I'm thinking of at some point, maybe I'll do a trip Munich, Istanbul directly for a long weekend. No,
So
just kidding. But the possibility would be there. Yeah.
so I
It
have
was
this
nice. Yeah.
so I have this question. When you said direct, it's the same driver the whole time. Like how is it just one person just drinking pots of coffee trying to stay awake, or how does that work?
No, it was a team.
Okay.
So I think there were two drivers and one organization guy, let's call it. So it was a Turkish bus company, which made it even more adventurous because we couldn't really communicate with them. And all the other passengers were also Turkish people who work in Germany and then regularly take these buses that take them directly home and back and forth, you know. So there was a team that was taking care about the guests and the driving. We always felt safe. It was just a bit adventurous to do a lot of stops, of course, and we had a lot of borders on the way, which I have to admit with the Turkish bus wasn't that easy as well because European borders are quite strict when it comes to Turkish people or people from even further from the east. So it was really interesting to get this perspective as well, how difficult traveling can be if you are not a EU citizen. Because for us it was really easy, of course, and with the bicycles it was no issue at all. On the way to Turkey, a stop at the border took us like 1 minute. We showed the passport and then they said, "Oh, nice journey. Haven't seen a bicycle here. Good luck." So, and on the way back, it was really insightful to see how, yeah, privileged you are with a European citizen passport.
Yeah.
And
So I'm
it took us a while to cross borders. At some borders, we stopped for several hours.
several hours.
Yeah, like they searched the whole bus, the luggage. We had to put our bicycles out. They looked into every bag. And you know how many bags you have on a bicycle, like two
I
in front,
do.
two in the back, even small ones in the frame. And yeah, they checked it all. Was quite a pain. But
Yeah.
yeah, in the end, nothing happened. And yeah, as I said, even yeah, now a nice story to tell and really insightful how these border crossings work. And yeah, and also nice to get through all the countries again on the way back
Yeah.
and not like sit into the airplane and 2 hours later you're at home. But yeah, enjoy the ride back and look out of the window and see landscape and everything passing by, just as I've seen it in the way to Turkey.
Was it a sleeper bus?
No.
No. Did you were you the only two bicyclists on the bus?
There was a French guy.
Okay.
He changed in Munich to a bus to
Okay.
France. It
Okay.
was really nice. He was also on a even longer trip than we were. So
Okay.
it was really nice to chat with him. And I think he was also happy that we were there. Otherwise, he would have been uh, the only guy from Central Europe with a bicycle.
Got it. Right. Yeah, I've been to Turkey and it's amazing. They call it the place where East meets West, right? So there are parts of it that are definitely feeling kind of European, and there are parts of it that definitely feel very Asian. So it's a very unique country.
Yeah.
So, did you
Yeah.
get to spend much time in Turkey?
Yeah, so the 3 months I took for the trip, it was actually 2 months to get to Turkey and then a whole month inside Turkey
Whole
because that
month.
was my actual goal. I wanted to see the inside of Turkey. I went to Turkey before on a business trip with my former job for the German automotive company that I told about. But you know, with the business trip, we went to a fancy hotel and then we went to a restaurant and we took a taxi. And I had the feeling, okay, I'm in Turkey, but I don't really see the country. You know, I've not seen much, and I felt that the authentic experience is still missing. So this is where the idea came that I want to go there by bicycle and see also not only big industrial cities, but also the really, really rural areas, just as you said. And it felt like another continent. It really felt like far, far away into Asia and nothing compared to Europe that I know as Europe anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. So you had the very unique experience. You've flown for trips, you've taken buses now for trips, and you've ridden your bicycle for trips. And think of the different experiences that you've had because of the bicycle. So you could get on a plane in Munich and fly to Istanbul, and you'll still go and see Turkey, but look at all the stories that you're able to see along the way just by your bicycle, even more so than just taking a bus from the east to the west.
Yeah, this is what I really love about cycling, and I've done some other bigger travels before. I always try to do it as slow as possible. So with the same friend that I was talking about with the bicycle trip now, I already had the plan to hitchhike to India.
Whoa.
We didn't make it.
Okay.
It was in 2018, but we hitchhiked to Georgia, and we just love it to get in contact with so many different people and to be somewhere and having no clue where you are. And with the bicycle, it was an even more intense experience, I'd say, because you are independent of others, you are independent of big roads, but still you can meet people, you can go slowly through the small villages, you can stop by people's gardens, and that was amazing in Turkey. Also, the hospitality, you might know it. We were invited so many times for breakfast, for lunch, even for nights to sleep at people's home. So I
Yeah.
think this would not have happened if we were there in a car or with a bus or with a tourist group or any other means of transport. Yeah.
I agree completely. That has been my experiences as well. So, has this inspired you to set off on any more trips, any more adventures?
Nothing precise now, but
Okay.
I think like my whole life is structured in spending some time in the same place and then do a longer trip and then come back into a place where I have friends and family. So the last 10 years, I spent a lot of time traveling, um, always doing like half a year there, coming back to Germany, half a year somewhere else, coming back to Germany. So I'm pretty sure, like I just started a new job, but I'm pretty sure I don't want to say too much now, but I think within the next 5 years, I will I will go on a bigger trip again. I have no precise idea yet what. I just know myself
Yeah,
that after some years in the same place, I always like to completely get out of it and do some crazy adventure.
I love that. I love that. So I want to ask if there's for anyone out there who is listening, who's curious about your story, what you're up to, World Bicycle Relief. Is there any way for people to connect with you, to connect with that organization, to help support your cause, or just find out what you're doing in the world?
Yeah, of course. So there's still my fundraising page. I think we can maybe link it
Yep,
somewhere.
we'll have it in our liner
Um,
notes.
Perfect. So you can still donate for my fundraising, which of course would be awesome. But you can also just donate for World Bicycle Relief on your own, like independently of my fundraising campaign. They also have fundraising opportunities on their website. Just Google for World Bicycle Relief, and there is many options to support. And yeah, you can follow me. For example, on LinkedIn with my name. I'm the only one there with this name. And I also have an Instagram page. We can also link it. It's just that I only post there while I'm traveling. So at the moment, it's rather inactive. You can see the pictures of my trip to Turkey there. Yeah,
Wonderful. Okay. And we will have all of those links in our show notes for people to check out. So
that would be awesome.
everyone will be able to find you and your cause.
Perfect.
Karolin, I am so excited we got a chance to talk today. This has been a ton of fun. I have learned a lot. And thank you so much for taking the time to be here and chat with me today.
Yeah, thanks so much.
All right.
And I want to use the chance to make some advertisement also to become a Warm Showers host. Because now that I'm back in Germany after my trip to Turkey, I started being a host and I had some really, really nice encounters. For example, with that old Swedish lady who cycled to the climate conference in Egypt all the way from Sweden. And she stopped by my house and we had the chance to spend 3 days together, which was an awesome experience. And yeah, I can just recommend it to everyone who can't travel at the moment. Invite travelers to your home. It really lights up your daily life and brings nice stories to your home.
Wow. I love that. I'm a host, longtime host as well. And thank you so much for hosting. And you're right, these experiences of just hosting are incredible. The people that you meet, the people that you get to invite into your house and share stories with, it's amazing. So thank you for doing that as well.
Yeah, of course.
All right. So thank you for everyone for listening to my conversation with Karolin Windhuber. If you enjoy our show, give us a like, a share on your social channels, or just tell your friends. These stories hopefully will inspire you to set out on your own bicycle adventure or host, and maybe make the world feel a little bit smaller, one pedal stroke at a time. My name is Jerry Kopack, and until next time, keep riding.
Thank you for joining us, and we hope you enjoyed the show as much as we enjoyed making it. Wherever you are listening, please leave us a rating and a review as it helps us reach more cyclists and hosts around the world. Visit us at Warmshowers.org to become a part of our community, or on Instagram at Warmshowers_org. If you would like to be a guest on the show or submit a question, please make sure to email us at podcast@warmshowers.org.